Hi guys, Chef Kevin Belton here. Happy Thursday to you. Now, today we're going to do something that I guess I say that every week. We're going to do something that I like. Of course I'm going to make things that I like. Why would I make something that I don't like? So I have my pan getting hot, okay? I'm going to throw a little olive oil
That's
down
a pot.
in here. I'm sorry?
That's a pot.
Pot. I have my pot getting hot. Throw a little olive oil in. You know, I got to tell you something, guy. I always call a pot a pan and a pan a pot. And Monica always corrects me. And I don't know, it's just a habit that I have.
Are you going to tell them what you're making?
Yeah, I'm about to tell him. Why don't you tell him? Here's Monica's voice telling us what we're making today. Come on, Monica, go ahead. Come on.
Mushroom linguine. Come on.
We're doing a mushroom linguine. That's right. It's going to be a creamy mushroom linguine. So, look, pan's starting to smoke. Let's get our mushrooms in. Now, I want to brown these off. And it's going to take about 3 or 4 minutes. Just to get them nice and browned off, okay? Now, I am using 3 types of mushrooms, okay? I'm using a Cremini, I'm using a Shiitake. Now, these are Shiitakes. I have some baby Portobellos. The Cremini resemble the Portobellos. They're kind of the same color, same size. These are the Shiitakes. I also like oyster mushrooms. I don't know if you guys have seen the oyster mushrooms. A lot of times they're in a solid stem, and then they sprout and they have different heads on them at the end. It's really great flavor. Oyster mushrooms have a great flavor. I'm not sure if you're a mushroom fan or not, but with this dish, this is a dish that we're not putting any meat in it. But of course, you could put shrimp in this, you could put chicken in it, you could do it with cubed pork if you want. You could put anything in it, but I think the star of this are going to be the mushrooms. Now remember, we started with a little olive oil in. Let's do a little more olive oil in the pan, because those mushrooms really absorb it. In the pot, I got that dirty look, y'all. I got that look. Now, we're going to put in some garlic. And instead of mincing the garlic, today I decided to slice the garlic. Now, crush it, press it, it has a bite to it. If you slice garlic, it has a delicate flavor. And I love garlic, and I like it like this when I slice it because you can eat it and it's not offensive. Basically, when you crush it and you smash it and you chop it, you're releasing those enzymes. And when those enzymes get together, that's what gives garlic that little bite. But if you slice it thin, those enzymes react differently where it's a milder flavor. You don't get that bite in there. Okay, let's turn our fire down just a bit. Now, you can see our mushrooms are starting to get a little color. And you can see I had that the pot really hot. Really hot because they don't need to saute too long. Some folks like to saute them down till they almost get to mush and get really soft, but we aren't going to do that. So let's get in our garlic. Now here's something that's going to be unique with this dish, okay? We'll get our garlic in. We'll get in a little bit of our Creole seasoning. Give that a nice stir. Mushroom down. We're going to get in 4 cups of chicken stock. Now I can get in a little stock. Work the bottom of the pan in case we had any goodies on the bottom of that pan that stuck. That'll come right off. Let's get the rest of this stock in. I have 3/4 cups heavy cream. We're going to get our heavy cream in. Now, this is what's going to be different with this particular dish. I'm taking our linguine, excuse me, and I am going to put it right in the pot. Now, I'm not going to try to break this up. As this starts to heat up, I'm going to put this on high because we want this to come to a boil. But what's going to happen, you know, I always talk about cooking with flavor, where when I cook rice in stock. Normally, when I cook any type of pasta dish, I cook my pasta in stock because it adds a flavor. So with this particular dish, and you say, boy, that's a lot of stock, that stock is going to cook, the linguine is going to cook in the stock. I don't know if you guys are familiar with jambalaya. Jambalaya is a dish where everything cooks in the pot, the rice cooks in the pot all together. I make a pastalaya sometimes where I do it with pasta, and basically that pasta cooks in those flavors in that jambalaya, in that liquid, and absorbs it. So pretty much the same principle here. What's going to happen as this heats up and starts to cook, our linguine is going to absorb the flavor of these mushrooms, of the chicken stock. It's going to get creamy. Now we're going to cook this with the lid off. The reason we're going to cook it with the lid off, because as this comes to a boil, it's going to reduce. So we're going to get rid of some of that moisture. That moisture from that chicken stock is going to cook off, because some of the moisture is going to cook off, some of the moisture is going to be absorbed into linguine, and that cream will just cream it off just enough to give us a nice creamy sauce. Okay? So as you can see, our linguine is soft enough where it's just about totally submerged. All right? See how that's down in there really nice? Okay? Now, basically, once this starts boiling really good, I turn it to about a medium heat, and then I let it simmer. Okay? There we can see we're starting to get to a boil. Okay? But do you get the principle about cooking this, why we're cooking it in there? Because it's all about flavor. Okay? It's all about the flavor. The other thing, let me say this about mushrooms. I like to walk a lot. I'll walk on the beach. I'll go hit different trails and things. And I always see different mushrooms growing wild and all. I have never picked a mushroom. Simply because of the fact that I had a book one time, and I don't know if it was the agriculture department or somebody put out a book, and it showed all the different mushrooms, the edible ones and the ones that were poisonous. And one of the things I noticed when I'm looking at the pictures, the edible ones and the poisonous ones, they look very much alike. So that's why I leave mushroom picking to the pros. Now I think there's a way to tell probably when you look underneath the mushroom. I heard under the cap, sometimes like see here, this is totally tan under there, where some poisonous mushrooms have a ring going around the gills in there. So I would suggest don't pick your own mushrooms unless you really, really, really know what you're doing. If you want to get a book about mushrooms and you can look at those pictures, you know, you can try it, but just be safe. Let the experts handle that, all right? That's just my take on it. So look, this is boiling really good. All right, and this is just going to cook down in here. All right, that's all. And we're going to remember, we're going to cook this uncovered, because what we want this flavor. See the moisture coming off? This is going to evaporate, and it'll give time for our linguine to cook. Now, of course, here I have one that I did earlier, and I turned it off. Oh, look at that. See how creamy that is? How creamy that looks? Let me get a plate so we can go ahead and plate this up. Oh, come here. Let's just take a fork. If you have a big fork, let's do it this way. Take your spoon, put some on that fork. Get as much as you can on the fork. That's why I left it whole, because you can kind of spin it around. This kind of gives a nice little presentation when you're going on the plate. And then just slide it off the fork. Now we can take a spoon, get some of our mushrooms, put our mushrooms on the top. And you know, we season this with the Creole seasoning, gang. But this is where you can always, at the end here, add a little more salt if you need it, but keep in mind, be careful, because you've got some salt coming from that chicken stock. But let me show you else. I'm going to finish this right quick. All right. We'll give our plate just a quick little wipe to clean that up. Now, what I have here, a little fresh thyme. Just fresh thyme will add a nice little flavor. I have a little bit of parsley, a little bit of green onion that also give a little bit of nice bit of flavor. We're going to take a tiny bit Parmesan cheese. Just grate a little fresh Parmesan right on the top. And there we have it. Okay? Look how nice that looks. So here, keep in mind, our pasta, where did I put my spoon? It's somewhere. Okay, I'll use this one just to give it a stir. Our linguine is going to cook down in that stock and in that cream. It's going to get nice. It's going to, you know, still cook it till it's al dente. Don't overdo it. Worst thing you can do is overcook pasta. You want to cook it to where it's al dente. So I hope, if you like mushrooms as much as I do, I think you're really going to like this dish. This evening, or in a little while, Monica plans on taking a piece of pork that we have, a little pork chop. She's planning on putting a little pork chop that I cooked the other day with this. Or she might do some chicken, because I have a chicken inside that I might saute off a little chicken thighs or chicken breasts, either one. Well, whatever one she tells me to make, that's what I'm going to do. So I hope you get yourself some mushrooms at the grocery store. Make this. It's a really great dish because, look, you don't have to do too much work. Let the pot do the work for you. The hardest thing you have to do is pull off the fresh thyme leaves. That's it. So, have yourself a great afternoon. Keep washing those hands. Keep masking up. Doing what you're doing. I hope you're all doing well. Stay safe. All right. Thank you for cooking with me today. I'm Chef Kevin Belton for WWF. We will see you soon.